I wanted to talk to you today about a very important thing that has been bugging me for a while now. It's, I suppose you can say, a guilty conscience, or at least not mine anyway. I am doing all I can at the moment, both to get the word out, to spread the word, to make people aware, and physically on the ground. I am also busy with, as you know, I'm a member of the Boer Legion. I go to training sessions, I go to information sessions. I am preparing myself for what we think is coming to this country, and as every day goes past, all doubt in my mind, or any doubt that there was in my mind that this, what we think is coming might not come, is disappearing very fast. I don't know how many of you actually take note of the things around you all day, every day. Actually, most of the people who listen to my videos and watch my videos do, but it's the other people I'm worried about. Now, I'm talking about your average person going to work every day, working their asses off to try and make ends meet, some of them doing pretty well, and I'm speaking to those particularly at the moment, or most importantly to them. Because they're doing fairly well and they're managing to maintain a decent standard of living in a decent house with a really good security system, driving a decent car, spend their weekends possibly at home, braaiing with friends, drinking it up, partying, and they call that life. Now, 10 to 1, these are people with children, some of them maybe not so old, quite young children. Now, I've got thinking about this. I don't have any young children anymore. My children are basically grown up. I have one kid in matric at the moment, who's, as you know, the year's nearly finished for them, so he'll be finished pretty soon. So I don't have any small kids anymore. But I'm talking to the people with small kids now, young kids, maybe in primary school or only starting high school. For those of you who are going to work every day and doing your best to survive, nobody can blame you for that. But at the same time, what are you doing for those kids, for their survival in this country, for the future? Now, my kid knows exactly where we stand politically, where we stand on the ground as far as our safety goes. He knows what's happening because I make sure he knows. But I know people who have young kids. These kids don't even know who Julius Malema or the rest of them are. They have no idea. They don't know the danger around them. All they care about is their fancy clothes, their little fancy hairdos, and they live life in their closed system, and they have no idea what's waiting outside there for them. Now, this is not these kids' fault. You can't fault these kids and say it's their fault. It is their parents' fault. Because at the same time that these parents are trying to give these kids the best they can on a material basis and maybe safety-wise at home, they are also doing these kids one huge disservice, because they are isolating them from what is happening outside, and one of these days they are going to wake up and they'll be adults and they will not be prepared for what is out there. Or these kids are going to still be kids, young kids, and the shit is going to hit the fan here, and they will not know what has hit them. And neither will the parents, because a lot of these parents are purposely not taking notice of what is happening around them. So I thought, to help you come to realization of what is really happening in this country. I'm not, as I said before, long time ago, I'm no statistician. I don't know all the facts and figures, and I'm not a historian either. But I have my ears on the ground, and I get information. Being connected to the people I am privy to a lot of information that most people aren't. Well, I say most people because most people don't even know that these groups and that exist. And all they are information groups, just people who share information. So I thought I'll just share a few statistics and a few facts to try and wake a few people up. Firstly, as everybody should know, South Africa has been recognized as the rape capital of the world. It is well-known fact that by the time I think a woman reaches the age of 30 or is considered an adult, at least 1 in 3 would have been raped at least once. That's 1 in 3 women by the time they reach adulthood. Another interesting fact is that I only heard very recently, maybe a week ago, South Africa is now recognized as the most dangerous country in the world for a woman to drive anywhere on any road at any time of the day or night alone. Take that in for a second. You women who are driving around at night by yourselves, coming home from work in the dark on the freeways, and I'm speaking specifically now of the Johannesburg area, the Gauteng area, all of that, because that is the most dangerous at the moment. Every night you're driving home in the dark, you think it's great, you're working late, you're getting some work done at work, but you are running the gauntlet every single night. And you get home, up until now, obviously you've got home and you haven't had an incident. But what you don't know is that hijacking is the most common crime in South Africa at the moment. Hijacking. Now, what is it going to take for you to either get hijacked, mugged, shot dead, robbed in your car or alongside the road? Let me ask you this question. The next time you stay late at work and you want to come home in the dark, what are you going to do if you get a blowout next to the road? You can't go any further. You've got to pull on the side of the road, on the freeway or whatever, and I'm speaking again to people specifically, but not exclusively in the Johannesburg area. You're going to pull over. The chances of you getting robbed on the side of the road or shot dead are extremely high. Given the figures I've just given you, your chances of not surviving it or getting robbed or raped or whatever are extremely high. Now, some of you will be riding around at night with your kids in the car. Again, they have no idea of the dangers, and apparently neither do you, at least those that are doing these stupid things. And I say stupid because it is a stupid thing. We're living in an extremely dangerous society right now. I saw today photographs of cars in car parks at shopping centers. Now, what is written on the back windows of these cars can only indicate one thing. At least it shows us who is driving these cars. It's not white people. But they are printing on the back of these cars something in either Xhosa language or whatever. I'm not sure what language it is, but the word uhuru is mentioned. Now, the word uhuru has been around for a long time, and it has had a lot of meanings. A few years ago, you remember, people used to talk about the Night of the Long Knives, all of that kind of thing. But basically what it means is the big attack or the big fight, the big battle with us whites. That is what it's referring to in the context of the South African situation. Now, people are starting to drive around with this written on the back of their windows. So it's the message they write on the windows is something to the effect of, they see uhuru coming, or they can see it. Now we, the very few of us who are informed, also see it, but most of you don't. I want to appeal to you, to the people out there who are doing nothing to try and remedy the situation, doing nothing to prepare yourselves for what is coming, doing nothing to secure your children's future. Now, I can only call this an act of cowardice. I know people who have got children need to go to work. They need to earn money to feed these kids and house them, clothe them, get them to school and everything else. I know that. Yes, they have to do that. But why are they wasting the rest of their free time? Buying, drinking, partying, going out and wasting their time when we are facing, and it's a fact now. I don't care who you are. You cannot deny it. We are facing a huge problem in this country. Farmers are being killed at an alarming rate. Hijackings are taking place at an alarming rate, and all of them are on an increasing scale at the moment. Sooner or later, this trouble is going to come knocking at your door. What are you doing to secure your kids' future? What is happening in this country is simply wrong. It is an act of injustice against nature, really. People shouldn't be carrying on the way they are carrying on in this country. And I'm not talking about the law, as in the laws that have been set out by our government or the police or anybody else. I'm not talking about religious laws. I'm just talking about laws that govern our morality. People, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're religious or not, we are born with an inherent knowledge, or we know the difference between right or wrong. We know that it is wrong to kill somebody. We know that it is wrong to steal from somebody. We just know it. We don't have to be taught these things unless we are taught that it's okay, which seems to be the case in this country. My question to you guys is, and women, what are you doing to secure your kids' future? Not their state of well-being today. We all know you have to take care of that. But you can't do that alone and expose them to what could very well likely be coming in a very short space of time in this country. You are taking a chance with your kids' lives, their kids' lives, and your, depending on what age you are, could be your grandkids, your great-grandkids' lives. What are you doing to ensure that they have a future in this country? Because I can tell you now, taking care of your kids' needs right now and nothing else is actually doing them a disservice. If you are slightly short of money and you can just manage to take care of them as it is now, but you are giving them more chips than they need, you are giving them more clothing than they really need, you're giving them more shoes than they really need, you should be cutting down on the luxuries and spending more on preparing and doing your part to prevent what is coming in this country. Stop being cowards. I know people, I get the argument all the time. Firstly, in these groups and stuff, you get a lot of people saying, enough is enough, enough is enough. You hear it over and over and over again. But those same people, that's all they do, is say enough is enough. They do nothing to remedy the situation. Now, in my case, I say enough is enough. But I don't have lots of money to throw at the situation. But it's not going to take just money. It's going to take people, feet on the ground. I am involved with a civil rights organization, looking after my people, who have plans to look after the elderly in old age homes and all of that. And we are preparing for that if it should become necessary. I am also trying to make people aware through my videos. These videos take time to prepare. The plain audios like this one don't take that much time, but the others where I have to look for images and everything else, do these, prepare for these interviews and do these interviews, everything takes time. I do not have a job, I am unemployed. I trade in cryptocurrencies and the like, and preparing and doing these videos takes time away from that, but I am prepared to make that sacrifice for my people, as our president likes to call it, our people. When he talks about our people, he means his black people. When I speak about my people, I mean white people. I need to do my duty to take care of these people. People who can't do it for themselves, like the elderly in the old age homes, and the white squatters who don't have any resources at their disposal. These people need to be taken care of when the shit hits the fan. And we in the Boer Legion are doing our part and are preparing to be able to do what we can to help these people when the time comes, if the time comes. So, that is my talk for today. Just something that was on the top of my head. People, stop being cowards. Face facts and start preparing and getting your things right and ready. And help your kids, or rather help secure a future for your kids. Or you are going to see yourself, your family, and your kids die in this country.